What's up, Internet? Trevor Starkey here from TrevorTrove.com, here with the Day 6 final day of my E3 2016 predictions. Last but not least, well, maybe least a little bit, Nintendo. These were definitely the hardest ones for me to try and cobble together because they've already come out and said all of the things that aren't going to be at the show, which is most everything. So I definitely, since they're focusing pretty much just on Legend of Zelda, no NX stuff. They've got a handful of other games kind of showing up, but Monster Hunter Generations isn't really my thing. Tokyo Mirage Sessions isn't my really thing, so I'm not going to try and come up with any predictions around those games. But here's what I've cobbled together. Prediction number 1: Mother 3 finally gets localized for the Wii U Virtual Console. Now this is very much more wishful thinking than anything else, but the rumors are always swirling about Mother 3 finally getting localized, and so maybe they'll finally give us a way to properly play it on a Nintendo system here in the States. A year ago, they localized the original Mother game as Earthbound Beginnings. Earlier this year, back in March, I think it was March. Earthbound itself came to the 3DS through the Virtual Console Super Nintendo games that they've kind of been rolling out there. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they give us the end of the trilogy there and finally give me a reason to actually turn my Wii U back on, because this is pretty much the only thing that'll do it. Zelda, which we'll get into in a little bit, I don't know if that'll win me back over. And if it does, it's going to be an NX title too, so maybe I'll just suck it up and get the new NX version. So, yes, hoping for Mother 3, Earthbound, something awesome. I don't know what they would title it, because I've never actually played Mother 3, even though there have been localizations for years in the ROM circuit. I've just never delved into them. Number 2, Dragon Quest VII, Fragments of the Forgotten Past, and Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King will get their Western release dates for the 3DS. Dragon Quest VII will be available next month, so July, and Dragon Quest VIII will be available in December. Now, both these titles have been confirmed for 2016. They've definitely said they're going to be showing off Dragon Quest VII as part of their 2-day event here at E3. So just like Mother 3 could get me to turn on my Wii U, these games might get me to come back to my 3DS and actually play with it on my travels, instead of just using it to try and go through and neurotically collect as many street passes and puzzle pieces and stuff as I can. Given that I put in 100 hours into Dragon Quest VII back when it was on the original PlayStation, I can't imagine they're going to try and launch both these games in sync with one another, so I figure they'll stretch it out a little bit to try and get people to buy both. So yeah, that's why I'm thinking we'll get the first one next month, and then Dragon Quest VIII, the PlayStation 2 classic, near the end of the year. Not a huge push for them, so that's why I think it'll probably end up in a December slot. Excuse me. Number 3, Pokemon Go release date announced for July. Field tests are currently going on for the new mobile game here in the States, and media sites like IGN and GameSpot got hands-on demonstrations with it in the last week or two. Specifically, the Nintendo livestream plan is Tuesday they're going to do Pokemon Sun and Moon, leading into a long, in-depth look at the new Legend of Zelda game. And then on Wednesday, they're going to go over some of their other games, starting with a Q&A session with the Pokemon Go developers. So what better question to be aid than, when is it coming? So I think they'll answer that, and I think it'll be probably here before too much longer, sometime in July. If I had to pick a date, let's say July. I don't even know what days games get released on mobile. But if they go with the same kind of Tuesday or Friday mentality that most games typically get launched, and Nintendo typically sticks to Fridays, I'll say Friday, July 15th. Yeah, let's go with that. Friday, July 15th, sure. Why not? Pokemon Go. You heard it here. Probably wrong first. Number 4. Link has a voice. And we'll see and hear from him, Zelda, and Ganon in the Legend of Zelda gameplay that they show us. I think the internet will freak out at this, but there will also be a ton of pieces out there saying this is why it's appropriate that he finally has a voice and isn't just a continually forever mute protagonist. I don't think it'll be a big name or anything. It's not going to be a Troy Baker or a Nolan North. It'll just be probably some guy like Charles Martinet who voices Mario. He'll just kind of be an actor, not really known in the industry or anything. So yeah, I think that's a lot of what we will see, and they'll make jokes about it on the stream. But I think it's time that it's not just text on a screen. Number 5, The Legend of Zelda gets a proper title, so it's no longer the Legend of Zelda Wii U, and it will release March 24th, 2017. Most likely coinciding with an NX launch, but they're going to stick to their guns and not announce anything NX related here at this event. So that last part of the puzzle I won't be able to really verify for probably a few months, but that's my guess anyway. So yeah, the Legend of Zelda live stream on Tuesday will start with the announcement of a proper name. I think they'll kind of kick it off saying The Legend of Zelda blah 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 blah. Arrow of magicalness, based on that's one of the images we've seen. I don't know. And then I think they'll kind of play with it and be coy and stretch out the entire Treehouse event, and then finally announce the release date at the end. And of course, if you're watching it on Twitch, it's just going to be a string of like date, people asking for the release date, obviously. So those are my 5 predictions for Nintendo. Who knows what they're thinking? I certainly don't. I've given up on really trying to guess, because anything I would predict for them to do, or any kind of business sense I would say, hey, this would be a good idea for you, they just kind of continually say, nah, we're going to do this instead. Cool. Thanks, Nintendo. Good on you. So we'll see if I get anything right. Come next week. They're doing, as I said earlier, they're doing 2 days of streaming, live streaming, which makes it even weirder that it's so hard to come up with predictions for them, because you'd think they'd be showing off a lot, but they kind of said when they announced that the NX is coming next year that they don't really have anything else coming out this year. Awesome. But Tuesday, June 14th, they're starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and again, that's the one focused on Pokemon Sun and Moon and the new Legend of Zelda game. And then on Wednesday, June 15th, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time, they're going to kick off with a Pokemon Go Q&A, and then go into some of the other smaller games that they will also have featured at the show, like Monster Hunter's Generation, like Dragon Quest, like Tokyo Game Sessions, right? Is that the name of that game? I don't know. Tokyo Mirage Sessions. #FE. Because naming video games is weird. So, let me know what your predictions for Nintendo are in the comments below. As always, well, I guess I never actually say this, but I'm going to start trying to say it now, I guess. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things that, YouTube people tell you to do. Until next time, thanks for watching. Still awkwardly forgetting that I need to end this video, and I don't know how to edit it yet, so goodbye.